This picture was taken 2008. If you were able to tell me back then that I would be in the situation I was in today, I would not have believed you. This was a very common reoccurring theme in my life back then. I was a bartender. I basically had little side hustles. I ran an eBay business. I blew majority of my money, literally nothing of true value. And so pictured here is this was one of my best friends growing up, and that's really what we spent our life doing. No direction, completely lost. I started to realize that I was missing something. I was truly missing something deep down inside. And ultimately being a screw up and getting in trouble led me to, losing my license, to alcohol, DUIs, things like that, landing in jail. There was a whole lot of bad things that happened, but ultimately God can use those things for good. Started to move forward and understand that this is a game we're playing. This is the game of life. You can either choose to practice and become better, come up with a plan, or you can suffer, struggle, and not achieve what you're looking for. Just like a team at the beginning of the year, they set out to want to win the championship. They want to beat all the teams that they're coming up against. Michael Jordan, arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, he said literally every single day he would get up and make sure he was the first person on the court, he was the last person to leave, because his philosophy in this was, if he's not practicing, somebody else is. And one day they will meet and he will lose. Whoever practiced more, whoever had a better plan, is the one that's going to win. I didn't have a plan to win. My plan was literally mindless drinking, get into trouble, end up with DUIs, go to jail, then have to build a bicycle to literally get around. Where my father was, and I was taking care of my father at the time, he lived 10 miles outside of the city. So how am I going to get there to take care of him? Buses don't run out there. How am I going to get to my job that I was lucky to get through another friend? Well, I got to build a little motorized bike. So it looked pretty sharp when it was first put together. Didn't look that good for too long because out there in the elements, it started to fall apart pretty quickly, but it worked. I came up with a new plan. I said, okay, this is the problem. How am I going to solve it? Okay, don't have a driver's license right now, but I can use a motorized bicycle, which does not require a license. Now, for safety reasons, better go get myself a helmet. This is a video that I would make, as I'm cruising down the road. Literally, if you look at this video, this is where I was. I'm out in the middle of the desert of Arizona, cruising on this bike. Literally, I'm telling you, this is 10 miles outside of the city that I had to get there to take care of my father. He took care of me for most of my life, so I had to get out there, take care of him. And work release, commuting from probation officers to his house, to work, to jail. It was just a mess. Through this struggle, I realized that there had to be something better. It's not the same guy you see today. I learned a lot through failure. And the real thing about life is we experience failure, and that's the only way we learn. When we experience success, it's just a temporary false security. If you have a really good job that you're enjoying, that you're loving, it can be a false sense of security. And we're realizing that right now, what's happening with coronavirus. As of this morning, 3.3 million have just filed for unemployment. That is substantial. With technology, there should be no reason why people can't adapt. My grandparents, they built a publishing company from scratch. They had to communicate with companies all over the world. And we're talking, this was 40 years ago. It blows my mind how they were able to accomplish that without having the technology today. I remember sitting in their office at 14 years old using a sponge and a little dish to get the envelopes wet, because they would send out mailers, thousands and thousands of mailers every single week to sell books, to bookstores, to small bookstores, to individuals. They had the brochures, the magazines, the print, literally the hundreds of thousands of dollars they would spend on mailers, print advertising, and actually publishing a book, where now you could literally create a book, self-publish it through Kindle, put it on an ebook, and just make profit. It's amazing what can be done today if you know how to take advantage of it. And so what today I want to talk to you about is, if you're in a situation where you don't even know what you're doing. You've been trying to start a business. You've been wanting to do this. You've been wanting to do that. Now is the time to do it. You may want to plan on retiring. So if I want to retire, how am I going to do that? The fastest way I realize that we're going to be able to retire is through real estate and real estate investing. So some of these are wholesales. If you don't know what that is, that's basically finding a property for a real estate investor and selling it to them. Some of these are rental properties. We've now acquired a couple of rental properties. And some of these are what you would refer to as fix and flips. And we have some that we just closed on that aren't even on here yet. The important thing to understand is all of this was literally built out of horrible situations. I was talking to him about, when I was in trouble on that, but what I didn't tell you, when I was on that bike, and it was after Christmas of 2015, I had a horrible bicycle accident and literally tore my ACL, damaged my meniscus. My wedding hadn't even been paid for. I had barely saved enough money to even propose to my fiance, and this is 2015. And at that point, I had no idea what I was going to do. I was losing the house. I had a little landscape business. I had a kettle corn business, but it all depended on me to be able to do that. And this was another thing that happened. First, I had been struggling hard and battling addiction, and then I got better and got work, but then I got laid off. And then I started a business, and then business is going, but then I injured my body, and I'm back to square one where I'm losing all my businesses, and I have a baby, I got a fiance, and we got a wedding that hasn't even been paid for. And so I'm back in this situation of what am I going to do? Am I going to push harder? Am I going to go forward? But my credit is absolutely shot. So if I want to do real estate, I want to get businesses, I want to do everything that is available to me in this country, how am I going to actually do that? I'll tell you what, it was business credit. Business credit has been the true game changer for my life. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And once you understand the power of what business credit can do for you and your business, this isn't just getting a credit card. It's the foundational setup. I was talking with a lady today, and she was telling me about, oh, well, because of what's happening, I don't know if I want to go into debt. And I'm looking over her documents, and I said, lady, you don't even have your business set up right. Did you do this yourself? The situation is, they're out there filing for themselves and not knowing how to even file the proper way. You don't even have the right documentation. She literally took out an office, and all she did was change the statutory agent. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, I'm trying to help you here. And I said it in a way that, well, hey, if you're not interested in, looking at credit right now, but let's at least try to help you and understand the things that are set up. Oh, that's fine. We'll do it later. Right now, I need to worry about other things. And I said, look, if this lady's plan is to be able to leave her full-time job and accelerate in her business, I see right now in that field, it's a high risk of lawsuits, and she's not even set up right. It does not take a experienced lawyer. I see that she's at a huge risk right now, as the corporate veil has not been fully protected. And any attorney can puncture that, come after any personal asset she has, because that's the reason that we set up businesses, is to protect the business's doings from yourself. And if that's not done right, one, that's going to fall apart. Two, you're not going to get any money. Three, what's the point of doing that if you're not going to spend the time to do it right? Like I said, you have to learn from the failures of others, but learn from the people that have already failed. I've already failed. We've already done this. We've already found the funds. We've found the money. We are pursuing the dreams. We're helping others do the same. And so to understand what business credit is, I got to explain it in a way that you already understand something else, and that's personal credit. Personal credit is attached to your social security number. But what about EIN number, the employer identification number? This is attached to the business. The U.S. requires every single business in America to have an EIN number. This is the tax number. This is so that they can keep track of the business's activities. Now, on the personal side, what is a perfect credit score for your personal self? Well, that's 850. If we look at the business side, what is a perfect score for a business? If you don't know, that's what you're going to learn today. On the personal side, if you want to check your score, who reports? There's Experian, there's TransUnion, there's Equifax. Now, if you want to check your business's credit profile, who reports that? If you're not quite sure, we're also going to cover that for you today. On your personal side, what affects your personal score? What could cause your score to either go up or go down? The number one is payment history. I'm going to shrink myself down here. Utilization. If you have a $500 credit limit and you're using $500 of that, then you've maxed out your credit. And that is 100% utilization. That's going to create your score to fall drastically. Next, we have inquiries. So are you applying every time you go to Lowe's and Lowe's says, hey, would you like to save $50 today by applying for your Lowe's card? Oh, well, great. Let me apply. Boom, inquiry. Oh, I'm getting a new cell phone. Boom, inquiry. You got to be careful about how many inquiries are put onto your credit report because that affects your score. Age of accounts. So banks want and lenders want to see that you've had different products for a long period of time. That's why if you close an old account, it can actually hurt you. Mix of accounts. Do you have a good mix of accounts? Do you have a credit card? Do you have an auto loan? Do you have a mortgage? Are you able to balance several different products? These are the factors that primarily go into evaluating your personal credit. On the business side, what are the factors? If you're not quite sure, we're going to cover that as well. And how long does it take for you to get good credit? Wherever you are, personal or business, let's talk about the personal side. If you are trying to repair your credit, if you're trying to get approved for lines of credit, loans, you're going to need decent credit. But if you're in any situation like many of us where we've missed some payments or we ran into a situation, racked up some credit card debt, now we're in trouble where we are going to actually have to, now we're in a situation where it can literally take forever. And how long does it take on business credit? A lot faster, even if you're starting from scratch, and we're going to talk about that today. So the main thing that you have to understand when you're building your business credit is, does your business have everything set up the right way? Does everything match? I'm talking about, do you have a good business name? Do you have a good business address? Do you have a good business phone number? Do you have a fax number? Do you have an email address? Are these things done the right way? That's what we help businesses to do. We help you to make sure that you have the right information for the right thing that you're doing. Because a lot of folks will just say, oh, well, I'm going to use my home address. Yeah, but is that what you actually should do? That's probably not the wisest choice if you're trying to access a whole lot of money. What about your phone number? Are you using your cell phone number? What about a fax number? Do you even have your fax number? Your email address, are you using Google? Are you using Yahoo? All of these things are giant red flags. And so as you are filing your business documents with the Secretary of State, the IRS, licensing authorities, your bank, you're setting up your website, credit bureaus, the 411.com, when you don't have things set up the right way, let's say you were able to actually get everything set up, but then you forgot the 411. Well, penalty. You're going to have a loss of business credit because majority of the beginning vendor accounts that are willing to extend a business lines of credit look at the 411 directory for credibility. Now, a lot of what we talk about is accessing funding. We have 27 different ways of helping businesses get funding. If you have cash flow, collateral, or credit. Good personal credit, we can get you funds right now. If you have a lot of cash flow, we can get you some funds right now. If you have collateral, assets, we can get you some funding right now. And the other thing is too, what if you have no collateral, you don't have any credit, personal credit or business credit, and you don't have any cash flow, but you want to start a business? How do you actually proceed? Well, that's what we're going to show you. We're going to show you how you can get $50,000 in business lines of credit within the next few months. And with the new programs that are rolling out because of the coronavirus, I'm seeing huge approvals, but you have to act quick. You really got to jump on this and get out there, and there's no better time than now to work on starting your business. Once you make sure everything is foundationally set up, we haven't even started to play the game, folks. You are just literally building the field so we can play. After you get your business set up the right way, you're going to have to go to Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet is the largest business credit reporting bureau actually in the world now. They have files on every business around the world. So not only do you need your IRS EIN number, but you're also going to need your Dun & Bradstreet number from them as well. And if you're starting out, there's a lot of things you do not want to tell Dun & Bradstreet. So I encourage you to get on the phone with us and find out what you should not tell them. Because there's things that can literally create problems and prevent you from getting funding. Now, once you have a few accounts reporting with Dun & Bradstreet, they're going to score you on what's called the PaidX. This is a very easy scoring model to follow. 80 to 100 is basically your low risk, and that's excellent. Medium risk, 50 to 79. And then high risk is 0 to 49. So you start out in the high risk, but we are going to get you to 80 or higher. Once you're at 80 or higher, that's literally the equivalent to having a 800 personal credit score or a perfect. What is your confidence level that you'll be approved for those accounts? If you then have business credit, we can start to get you funding. Dun & Bradstreet runs the big show. Then there's Equifax Small Business and Business Experian. These are important, and you're going to need to take care of them as well. Difference between your personal credit and business credit: on the personal side, you don't have to call TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax and say, hey, I'm going to apply for a credit card. They've already started to track it through your social. Once you set up a business, you have to go and set them up, or else they won't be there for them to report. Let's take a look at Walmart. Every successful business in the country has business credit. If you've been in a Walmart, you're going to see that they have a whole lot of products. They don't buy that with cash. It's all done through credit. They have over 60,000 vendors. And you can check Walmart's credit score. If you want to go and check their credit profile, say you go over to Experian and check their business Experian, you can do that. This is another difference between personal and business. I can't go check your personal credit without your authorization, but I could go check your business. And if we're looking to do business together, I'm going to check it to see if you've been defaulting on any loans. If I'm a private lender and I'm going to extend your business credit, extend your business a loan, I'm going to see, have you been defaulting on any of your payments? Have you been late on payments? This is going to be important to understand. And the thing is, even if you don't have a profile, negatives could be reporting onto your business, which you need to check. Pull up a little information on Walmart here. It'll tell you where their main office is located, how many trade lines they actually have. So how many accounts are actually reporting out of the 60,000 accounts? Only 513. This is something to understand, that only 7% of lenders, vendors, credit lines report positive. It costs them money to report positive behaviors, so many of them don't do that. Our specialty is showing you which accounts report and how you actually apply and get them. We give you the underwriting guidelines to being able to access these funds. And if that's something that you're interested in, stick with us, because we're going to continue to cover that today. Vendor credit. This is the very first round. So we go through the process of setting your business up the right way. Then we got to establish your reporting agencies. Then we got to start applying for accounts. And the very first area is vendor accounts. And like I said, many of them don't report. In the beginner accounts, it's only 3% that are actually reporting. Majority don't report. So we show you the accounts that you can get without using your social security number, because what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do this without using your social, how to get those accounts set up regardless of your personal credit situation. We're talking Home Depot cards, Lowe's cards, Amazon cards. I mean, we'll get into the store cards here in a minute, but Home Depot you can get right in the beginning. How do you get that if you don't know how to apply? Well, we'll show you that. We'll also talk about moving into store credit, where Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Staples, and actually you can get a huge credit line from Best Buy, but Best Buy doesn't even report unless you default. And so what we do is we show you which accounts to set up and how they report, and so you can build those relationships. The goal, 6 months maybe, however long it takes you, to establish 14 of these little accounts. And once you do that, setting up fleet credit, gas cards for your vehicles, everything like that, also working on vehicle financing. Then we get to the cash credit, where you're able to go out and apply for American Express, Visas, MasterCards without using your social security number, only using the power of your business and getting approved instantly. Everything under $150,000 is instantly approved if you meet the right requirements. If you don't, it's going to be instant denials, and they're going to give you a generic response saying lack of time in business. They're not going to say that they denied you because you're still using a Gmail email account. These are the things that we understand doing this, working with our partners. We've been working on business credit with our partners now, the specialists, for over 11 years. 11 years this has been in the works. We have some phenomenal people on our team. There's financial advisors, there's loan officers, and there's literally some of the best minds in the world of business credit. That's what you're getting when you start working with the wise guys in ties. Let me tell you a little bit about DePhillis and Thelma Sample. They run a company called Success Tax Relief out of LaPorte, Texas. So they ran into a problem. They went to their bank to get a business line of credit and they turned them down. So then they got started with our financial advisors along with the Business Credit Builder program to build their business credibility. They built business credit. And after following the steps, they've secured now almost $100,000 in business credit cards and just got approved for the Platinum American Express with no limit. Now they have 4 to 5 different companies calling them each and every day trying to give them money. Because when you're a business and you're succeeding, lenders want to lend. When you're not doing good, nobody wants to give you any money. It's just the way it works. Let me tell you another story about Christine. Christine runs a transportation company, logistics, trucking. And so as she was building her business credit, you're going to see that the approvals start to increase. So Sprint, Amazon, Tractor Supply, Exxon, Fuelman, BJ's, BP, Lowe's, Apple, Shell, Murphy US, Office Depot, Sears, Costco, Best Buy, Dell, Pilot Flying J, Roofs Plus, Ford, RTS, and all of these approvals required no consumer credit check or personal guarantees. This is strictly just business lines of credit without using personal credit. She's been able to get these business lines, these gas lines. She now has a perfect PaidX score done in Bradstreet. She has a $150,000 line of credit through RTS Financial Services and a true success. Now, it's taken her a little time to do that, but you can definitely do it too. There's Marlene McKinney out of Wealth Builders. He now has over 100 business credit cards and access to over $1 million just through leverage. That is some powerful stuff. Let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Brennan. Dr. Brennan, he was an OBGYN bringing babies and life to this world. He ran into a situation with back tax, ran into a lot of trouble. We were able to work with him, and now he's secured over $1.5 million in funding through unsecured funding, revenue loans, and private investor term loans. We have 27 different ways we can fund you, and we'll help you build your business credit. You may be asking yourself, will this work for you? Absolutely, yes, it will, if you do the work. Now, I know that if you're watching this, you're somebody who's a go-getter. You have the can-do attitude, and that's what we want to help you with. We like to work with the folks that are willing to run because we like to run with you, and we will get you the funds you need, like Abigail, like Crystal, Manuel, Mary, Sheena, T, Laverne, Felicia, Jason. And when you start to get these approvals, we want to see it. We want to see your success. Share with us, Instagram, Facebook. Then you're just going to be added to the business success that this country provides. Home Depot Pro Purchase cards. But even though the burger looks good and you're getting those funds, do not bite off more than you can chew. Because when you get a $20,000 gas line, don't be racking up more than you can pay for. The beauty of our system is, right now with money being tight, where should you spend your money? That's a great question. Where should you be spending your money? If you spend your money in the right places, on the right things for your business, then you don't overspend. And that's what we help you with. You're going to need to invest into your business, but don't go out there and just blindly start opening accounts because you're throwing money away. Remember, if only 3% of those beginner accounts, that means you might have to go through 100 accounts to get 3 that actually report. When you need 6 reporting, what are you going to do? If you work with us and we let you you let us show you the right way, then you can avoid all of the risk that is normally associated with trying to do it on your own. We will show you which accounts, and like a shopping menu, that you get to pick and choose, and then choose if, hey, is this worth spending $50 on? Because the average, I would say, is around $50 you need to spend to open each account. We need to open 14 of those. But is that worth it to gain access to $50, $75, $100, $150,000 within the next 6 to 12 months? I'll let you decide on that. Oh, and that's not even using your personal credit. If you had your personal credit in good shape, you could just double it. Our system, it's called the Business Credit Builder Program. I'll show you real quick. This basically walks you through all the foundational steps of everything that we do. And so business credibility, that's what we talked about, is how do you set up your business the right way? We walk you step by step through this. If this is what you've been looking for, if you've been looking for a way to access funds, if your personal credit is not in the best situation, work in a system from your home right now that you can start to hit all of these little milestones. So making sure that you have a good business name, address. If you already have your business set up, excellent. We'll get you going right away and we'll work you through this and just make sure everything looks good and is done right. On the other side, if you haven't started your business yet and you're looking to, make sure you work with us so you don't do something wrong like the lady I was telling you about earlier who I just started working with. There's a lot of problems that arise if you don't do things the right way. Get funding for your business. There's many different types of financing you may qualify for right now. 27 different ways. So there's revenue lending, merchant cash advances, account receivable financing, purchase order financing, startup unsecured business financing, book of business financing for insurance companies, 401k financing, securities financing, commercial vehicle, commercial real estate, peer-to-peer lending, angel investing, venture capital, private investments, equity investments, inventory financing, equipment sale, leasebacks, SBA loans. And let's talk about that real quick. There's a whole lot of programs that are being put out by the SBA right now. Fed has bought up a whole lot of paper, and there's no better time than now to be applying for business funding. Term loans, business lines of credit, house flipper financing, and crowdfunding. We can help you with all of it. So what did you guys learn today on the business side? What is the perfect business score? If you're thinking, well, it's 100 PaidX, then you're absolutely right. 80 to 100, we really consider that per who reports. We got Dun & Bradstreet, we got Business Experian, and Equifax Small Business. Affects your payment score. We didn't go into this heavily today, but your payment history, as long as you've made your payments on time, none of the other factors come into play. You can max out all of your lines of credit, but as long as you can make the minimum payments, it's not going to bring your score down. And if it's done the right way, it won't affect your personal credit either. And how long does it take? 6 to 12 months, folks. That's how quickly it can be done. Now, how can we guarantee you to get you $50,000 of business lines and credit? Well, first and foremost, we can guarantee that we're going to provide you a service. And the next thing is, as long as you do the work, then you should be able to achieve results. 24/7 access to your own business suite. We have both English and Spanish. We have credit advisors, English and Spanish as well. They'll coach you through the process, help with the setup of your business, name, entity, EIN, help with the address, toll-free number setup, help with your fax number, your 411. We help you with your website, your email, online listing, compliancy checks, your bank, your merchant account, set up with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, DUNS number, BIN set up with Experian, dispute and fix any business inaccuracies, because where are you located? There may have been a business there before that used that same address, or there's multiple businesses that are sharing an address. There could be problems that arise from that. Largest supply of starter vendors. We have a massive selection of retail and fleet credit, hard to find cash credit auto financing with, remember, no personal guarantee or personal credit checks. Cash flow financing with bad credit. Unsecured financing, 0% rates for startups. Asset-based financing with rates of 2% or less. SBA loans, term loans, lines of credit, your own financing team. Literally, if we were to individually a la carte this up, we're talking a $12,000 value for sure. Also, you get these bonuses. You get 30-minute coaching calls with a business advisor. You get it Dun & Bradstreet Experian monitoring for only $24 a month when you're ready for that. Business valuation report in a 2-hour Velocity Banking and Business Credit Mastermind. That's a whole nother $5,000 of value right there. Right now, during this time, we're working on giving you as much value as possible. What does the business credit program actually cost? Well, the retail price is $4,997, a phenomenal deal. We offer financing, no credit check financing, where we can come up with a payment plan for you. Or if you already have access to credit or funding to do it, we do offer a one-time cash discount at $24.97. Get started working with us for the next 5 years. What else do you get when you get started today? Because, man, we're just thinking about all the bonuses that we could be giving you guys. We're giving away everything right now because of Corona. 9 most devastating mistakes business owners make when financing. 12 credit lines and cards you can get for your business. So these are all ebooks that we've been put together by our financial team. You get the definitive guide to building business credit. You also get 27 killer ways to get cash financing for your business. You get the business credit building checklist. You also get FICO Scores Decoded, which is on your personal side, how to work your personal credit situation. And then, of course, our business credit book, which is the Entrepreneur's Guide to Building Business Credit. The great thing about this book is it is literally the program in a book form. So take the handbook with you wherever you go. Over $300 value there. Let me talk about this business credit book because this book sells on Amazon for $250. Sometimes we have it at a discount at $197 during seminars. But this book, like I said, it's our entire program put into a book. It has 30 accounts with the underwriting guidelines and how to build your business credit for the do-it-yourselfers. Some of you out there like, Ray, right now I can't be spending, $2,500 on this program. But if you want to go through the legwork and do it yourself, you aren't going to get our financial team. You're not going to get all the help and assistance going through the process. But if you want a book that will show you how to do it, we were coming up with the best way to do it for you. And it's all here in the book. You can follow the steps. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to get it done in 6 to 12 months, but with the book, you could easily do this over the next, over the next year or two. You can definitely do it, but it just depends on how quickly you can do it on your own. To make it easier, we're offering a phenomenal cut deal on this. Like I said, this is our entire program, and we are literally slashing the price for you right now, just during this economic time. Only $97. Literally only $97. $97 is going to gain you access to all the foundational setups, how to set up your Dun & Bradstreet, how to set up your business, how to quality check your business, and then 30 accounts that you can get set up for your business, everything from small vendor accounts up to vehicle financing without using your personal credit guarantee. I know a guy that just took the book last week, and he already has a $10,000 gas card in his pocket for that. And he's already got a whole bunch of other accounts that he's getting set up literally daily. How do you get that? Well, give us a call. 888-524-9273 is our phone number, 8885-BizCredit, or you can email us at businesscredit@wiseguysandties.com, or go over to wiseguysandties.com website. And if you go over to wiseguysandties.com, what you're going to be able to find is a whole lot of content and information on how to build your business credit. You can reach us here through this chat. If you have some questions, reach out to us. We got our latest articles on building business credit and an opportunity for you to sign up for a free 30-minute funding or business credit consultation. Now, the great thing about that is you can simply just schedule with us on our website. Find a time that works for you. You got some time tomorrow? Look, here's our times that are available. Go ahead and schedule a call with Joseph or myself, and we'll work with you. Well, let's talk about the SBA funding programs. Let's talk about building your business credit, or let's just talk about getting you that book. Whatever it is you're looking to do today or tomorrow, let's work with you and make sure that you're able to achieve the dreams that you're able to achieve. I want to thank you all for being here today. Through this time, I'm going to make sure that you're able to achieve what you're looking to achieve. So I want to say good night and God bless.